So if you want to build a pair of big shoulders with your body weight, then you need to start doing the wall assisted handstand push-up. Hands down, this is the hardest press variation you can do with your own body weight, simply because we don't spend a lot of time in the vertical position with things like body weight. And also your shoulders are a lot weaker than your chest muscles. That's why you can bench press usually a lot more weight than you can overhead press. So wall assisted handstand push-up is a game changer. It's a goldmine of an exercise if you want to develop this yoke area. But it's a lot easier said than done. Like I just said, it's an extremely hard variation of vertical press to do. So in this video, I'm gonna lay out the blueprint on how to progress with it, all the way from beginner, all the way up to advanced to the full range of motion, wall assisted handstand push-up. That's a big mouthful there. So let's get into it. So the first step is to do a pike push-up, either from an elevated surface if you're really at a weak position, or if you're strong enough to do it on the flat floor. So you want to do this about 2 to 3 times a week, build up to somewhere around 12 to 15 reps. I like going higher with the reps with the vertical presses, just because it makes carrying over to the next progression a lot easier. And again, these reps aren't set in stone, okay? If you can get 10 reps of the pike push-up and you want to jump onto the next progression, by all means do that. If you want to stay at 12 to 15 reps, or if you want to go a bit higher, then by all means do that, okay? It's just a loose guideline. I like to stay around 12 to 15 reps before I jump on to the next progression. And then from there, you want to work either from the elevated surface down to the floor, or if you're starting on the floor, you want to start working into a deficit position, okay? So you want to raise the deficit somewhere around 1 to 2 inches, and then again, rinse and repeat multiple sets until you can get about 12 to 15 reps. And also remember, every time you increase the deficit, you want to increase the level of your feet, okay? So deficit increases by, let's say, 2 inches, then you want to elevate your feet also by 2 inches as well. The reason being is because if you elevate the deficit without doing your feet, you're basically kind of going backwards, because you're elevating the surface you're pressing from, but your feet are still staying the same. So you're getting less of a vertical press position and you're making the exercise easier. And then again, when you can get those multiple sets with about 12 to 15 reps, increase the deficit, and then you just basically rinse and repeat that cycle over weeks, over months, over years if it takes you that long, until you can get to the full range of motion pike push-up, where your hands are touching your shoulders on every single rep. And then the end goal we want for the full range of motion pike push-up is when you're in the bottom of the position, so your shoulders are fully stretched out, your elbows are maximally bent. You want your legs to be running parallel with the floor, okay? That's gonna allow you to apply the most weight to your upper body, and it's gonna carry over very well to the wall assisted handstand push-up, just because they're very similar exercises, okay? Strength carryover is very, very good with the full range of motion pike push-up. And then from there, you can do one of 2 things. You can completely abandon the pike push-up and start working on the wall assisted handstand push-up. I wouldn't recommend this, because there is benefits to the pike push-up, full range of motion, that the handstand push-up won't really allow you to do when you're in the beginning stage. I personally like to do 1 day a week, full range of motion pike push-up, the next day of the week, the wall assisted handstand push-up. Now with the wall assisted handstand push-up, there's 2 variations you can do. You can either face the wall, or you can face away from the wall. Personally, I like to face away from the wall. No real reason, I'm just more comfortable with that. And also it gives more of a vertical pressing position, so you're more upright. But I know a lot of people like to face the wall, because for one, it's easier to actually get in that position. You can climb up the wall without having to kick yourself up. And 2, it's easier to keep a neutral spine, okay? When you're doing facing away from the wall, as you kind of approach failure, it's easy to arch your back like a banana and then press from that position, which is a weak and unstable position. But you pick your poison with that. And then when you're ready to jump onto the wall assisted handstand push-up, again, just like the pike push-up, we want to start on just the flat floor, okay? With the handstand push-up, it is a little bit harder to progress on, so I'm going to drop the reps to somewhere around 10 reps, okay? So when you can get multiple sets of somewhere from like 8 to 12 reps, then I believe you're ready to progress by increasing the deficit again by 1 to 2 inches. And then from there, it's the exact same process as I explained with the pike push-up. over the weeks, over the months, when you can get your multiple sets of around 10 reps, somewhere in the 8 to 12 rep range is the sweet spot. Increase the deficit again by about 1 to 2 inches, however much you feel like you need to progress. And then you basically just rinse and repeat that over months and months until you can get the full range of motion handstand push-up. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a similar occurrence when I talk about all of these body weight progressions. You basically just find a regression that's suitable for your strength level. And then from there, you basically increase the range of motion or you lower the exercise. For example, like I explained in my push-up video, start with a high position that you're pushing from, and then gradually you lower it and lower it down until you can get the full exercise. And that is the key to getting any type of calisthenics movement. Find a regression that you can perform for a suitable amount of reps. And then when you can get on the higher end of that rep range, you jump onto the next progression, the next harder progression to say. And then again, you just rinse and repeat. And that's basically the key to learning any calisthenics movements, okay? So, in a nutshell, start off with the pike push-up, increase the range of motion over time. And then when you can get the full range of motion, pike push-up, deficit position, hands to shoulders, you either abandon it and jump onto the wall assisted handstand push-up, or you do like me and include both. One day pike push-up, one day wall assisted handstand push-up. Give that, let's say 6-12 months, you're gonna develop a large pair of shoulders, okay? Your physique is gonna take a drastic change when you can increase your performance and you get stronger and you're able to do the full range of motion, wall assisted handstand push-up. So with all that being said, try it out for yourself and see you go from there. Until next time, peace.